Welcome back, strange crew. You are tuned into another trip through life's deep cuts. We hope you enjoy the ride.
Hello, you're listening to volume 120 of the Strange Cruise podcast. I'm Charisse Letson.
I'm Kate Milbury.
And we're joined by two very special guests, a returning guest, an OG guest, dare I say.
An OG?
Ooh, OGG
Is
guest.
OG original gangster or original Greg?
Both.
Okay,
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah, there you go.
OGG, yeah, you know me.
Amazing. Yes. And a new guest, Kaiya.
Hello.
Welcome to the show and welcome back to the show.
Thank you so much. What an awesome thing to be up here with my daughter on Stranger Things podcast. Stranger Things. Oh! No,
We'll
you have to
take
keep that.
it.
You got to keep that. You got to keep that.
We're taking it.
Yeah,
We're taking it for the SEO.
Yeah, it's the Stranger
He's
Things
been
podcast.
watching too much Stranger Things.
Good.
I have been. I'm on I'm on episode 4 of season 4 of Stranger Things right now, and I can't stop watching it every night.
I can't believe you came over. I'm surprised. If you're on episode 4, I'm surprised you came over.
But Strange Grooves and Stranger Things,
They're both awesome.
There is definitely a fraternity there.
And we'll take the overlap anytime.
Yeah.
And the keywords. Thank you, Internet.
Yeah, we're going to put that in the
Stranger
keywords.
Things.
Yes.
Yeah, no, we're stoked to have you guys. We were chatting to those watching or listening. We were chatting for, 15, 20 minutes before we hit record, just catching up, the usual stuff. But yeah tonight we're just going to kind of keep it real, keep it strange, say what's going on.
Yes, and we are super excited to hear about a recent trip, a recent special birthday gift that was given. I guess when whoever wants to take it from here, do you want to share?
Take us on a journey.
Take us on the journey.
Back 13 years ago.
So way back in the day when I turned 13, like in May.
Just so Greg knows, in May.
In May. Yeah.
But that was like, I'm going to take you to a Phish concert. And I was like, oh my goodness, I am so excited. So then 2 months go by and, well, we were on the road.
We're on the road, and we started a full discography of Phish because I had to train her as a good dad would.
It's hard.
Right, mm-hmm.
Oh my God, that's a really loaded endeavor.
Yeah, now it wasn't every album, but
you've had 13 years to
yeah,
kind of nurture that in there a little bit, but
she was born to the likes of Sigur Rós and Phish. There was a lot of that, and Bob Marley in her very early years. So it comes naturally to her.
It's all the songs like in the car, I was like singing along. I was like, wait, how do I know this? But it's because
like muscle memory. Oh my God, that's funny,
I've been listening to it like my whole life anyway. So
I guess we probably had that happen too with like tunes our dad was listening to.
Oh yeah, like I think ever since like Oldies 96, the new Oldies radio station that came on the scene here. Like so I was an avid listener of Oldies 93 CFBC, like that's what I grew up with, and I have like they're playing like really old like Canadian gold like deep cut AM radio, like not even on Spotify or Apple Music.
Radio.
And it's like, and I'll like start singing the song and being like, oh my God, how do I know this? But like I just remember it being on repeat in the car when I was 5.
Of course.
Right.
Of course. And we all listened to the same, because we only had a few stations. So
Right.
we were all listening to Skinner at the exact same time in our parents' car.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I remember seeing on Instagram you guys like on your stories, it just made me so happy to see you guys kind of, just going along the airline, listening to
even getting up
Phish.
to the border, we're cranking some. I think I was introducing you to Reba at that point, and I was like, I wonder at what time I should turn down the music, like when the border guard.
They're just like, nope, we're not letting you guys in.
Yeah.
And Kaiya was documenting it all
on Snapchat and just I don't know
yes.
TikTok.
Anyone who can broadcast, just like, please, let's dig into Phish.
Right. Like I'm interested in some context here, Greg. So can you tell us a little bit about sort of when you first started getting into Phish and what is it about their music that you liked, I guess?
Yeah, and first of all, what a treat to actually be interviewed about a quirky obsession I have, which is listening to Phish. And you know what? There's a lot of haters out there, many, who just have never seen Phish live. That's I know that is the cure-all for any naysayers of Phish, is just come see them live. So I saw them live before really knowing them, and I saw them at the Great Went in upstate New York. That would have been, I don't even know when that was, probably 98 or 97, something like this. And of course, I knew Phish before, but and in fact, the first time I ever listened to Phish, I would have been in grade probably 10. And I remember going down the airline to Sugarloaf, going skiing with my friend Mike Long and his family. And back then we had Columbia House, where you get all these records or CDs, you know, like you get 15 of them if you sign a friend up. And we used to sign ourselves up under different names. So we had like a whole bunch of, like I had Grisnorf Hemmings, I had Sloshboo Hemmings, a whole whack of them, right? And we got Yenta, Phish Yenta. So that was my very first time listening. At that time, I was a big Zappa fan, still am. And I remember listening to Yenta, and I had that feeling, kind of like we were talking about earlier about Goose and Trey. Yeah. I was like, this band sounds so much like Zappa that I'm going to have a hard time listening to it because it's kind of a ripoff, is the first feelings I had. But then after the second, third listen of this incredible album, some people call it Junta, I call it Yenta, I was like, oh man, this band is awesome. But I never really got into them until I saw them live. And seeing that band live, and being a musician myself and knowing what it's like when you don't have to look at your fellow musicians on the stage and you just know where everybody's going, like they are masters at that. So as a musician, obviously it's a real treat to see bandmates play like, you know, that intuitively.
And that being your first show, I can see how that would be like, obviously make you a fan. Because my kind of intro to Phish was kind of the same way. Like growing up, I really liked listening to like classic rock, really heavy metal. And then when it was kind of my time to listen to what I wanted to listen to, it was about what is the heaviest stuff I can find. So my friends that were into Phish and like, you know, a lot of more of the crunchy hippie bands, they would call them. But that's what they would call them. You know, I didn't even want to give them a chance. Yeah. But then what ended up happening is like, I heard songs like Golgi Apparatus and like the lyrics and stuff that they'd put through. And I was like, this is weird
and very zappy,
demented,
Zappa-like.
Very and I was like, wait, is Phish good? And then I was like, hold on. And then so I would listen to them, but being in St. John, and this is just, you know, small town, but I never thought I would leave St. John. Like I never really cared to go out and travel and go to shows, probably until I was about 22, 23. I had never left. I had not even gone to like Halifax to see shows. So I never thought I'd see a band like Phish. It just, to me, they were so grand, and they would play to 80,000 people, and people I knew would go on like a 10-day tour date with them, that they were out of the league. So when I first saw them, I only sort of knew what I knew. And then it definitely changed the game, because I really appreciate, I don't know, the way that they put on a show. And I'm sure you guys can talk a little bit about that.
Well,
but
I think it'd be cool to hear Kaiya, because you've heard recordings of Phish forever, but what was it like seeing them live?
Well, I thought it was like a complete different experience. Like just from listening it to the car, like, oh yeah, Phish, and then there in person, it's like, oh yeah, Phish. Oh my gosh, like, this is awesome. It was just like all the energy and like the community, like everybody knew each other and was like there and like reconnecting like, over a band and stuff. Like just the energy difference. And
it was funny because Kaiya doesn't like walking through the city market with Daddy because, you know, it's just a big chat
Celebrity.
fest. No, it's just about being in St. John, right?
Yeah.
And
for sure.
What was it like at the Phish parking lot?
Well, I'd say 10 times worse.
Oh, I can only imagine.
There was people like, oh, hey, Greg Hemmings. Oh, hey. And he was like, hey, how you doing? Like, I haven't seen you in 8 years at that last Phish show. And like, yeah. And then later on, he's like, I had no idea who that person was.
So if that person's listening,
Sorry. It's been a while.
No, that's so funny. That's going to be me at private shows.
Also, I think it's neat to use this as an excuse about why maybe I didn't remember some people is it was my first absolutely sober show.
We love a sober king.
Not impressed.
Well, I did buy a 6-pack and took it to the motel room and had one beer. And then on the way back across the border, I brought the 5 back. Mm-hmm. But apparently you have to be in the U.S. for more than 2 days to bring any beer back. So I told the guy, I was like, listen, I do have alcohol. I only have 5 out of a 6-pack. And he goes, and you're at a Phish show? This is what the border guy said. I was like, yeah.
It's like, you're sketchy AF. You're done. Not going back.
Yeah. I was like, nope. I'm going to bring my daughter more often. She keeps me healthy.
No, I mean, when I went to Bangor for my first show, and it was an outdoor show. And I remember like a bunch of people that I went with, they're like, this is going to blow your mind. And I thought, okay, going to have to stand here for like 6 hours probably, because that's probably how long a Phish show is. And I was excited, but I was very just kind of like, and then when it started, it was like, they started with Possum, and I was like, this is good. And then like, they did so many good songs. And seeing the different kinds of people, the kids that were there, everybody was very respectful of space. It was very like, to me, it was very heavy metal. I'll be honest with you. Like some of their like solos, and like you said, the way how tight they are. And because like, you know, a lot of their songs, I think I looked it up not too long ago. They have, I think either it's 400 or just over 400 original songs.
Which is crazy.
But when I started thinking about how does someone like Trey and Mike, like how do they actually, well, it's because like they're very talented musicians. So if they go off on like a crazy, like we might think, oh my God, this 27-minute jam, but like they've been doing this for years. As long as they know the chord progressions that they're doing, they can pretty much stay. Yeah. Like it's muscle memory for them, right?
You guys see that Metallica live jam session? You know, that little YouTube thing they've got?
Yeah.
Where they were just jamming and then just practicing for a show. And then Lars Ulrich said, hey guys, did you guys hear that Phish is doing the Baker's Dozen at Madison Square Gardens? They're doing 13 shows in a row without repeating a song. And the guys start talking for like a good 5-6 minutes saying how insane that is.
Yeah.
I think James was like, I don't think we've ever done a show where we didn't repeat every single song night after night.
Right. Yeah. And I mean, you made a funny joke. I think it was in your Instagram story about the helium.
Oh, the nitrous. Okay.
Yeah, well, because I saw that for the first time there, and I was like, what are these people doing? And then all my friends, they were like, oh, no, like that. And I was like, what? And they were like, let's, and I was like, no. I was like, what do you mean? I was like, what do you mean? Yeah.
Yeah, it was, I mean, I was warned before, so I kind of knew what they were doing, but it was really, like weird. Like,
yes, it is. Yeah,
I saw these random people, like, with balloons, and they were like, and it was... That's
the thumbnail, everyone.
The thumbnail is, like, they do this, and they get high, really high for, like, 9 seconds, and then they move on. But it was sketchy, eh?
Yeah, and, like, it was... You heard the noise of, like, the, like, filling up the wounds, like, everywhere you went. Or you, like, could see people with...
That's so funny to me.
Gosh.
And also... this was, like, disturbing, kind of. There was this, like, dad, or this person, right, with one in his hand, with 2 kids beside him, with 2 in their hands, too, holding it for him. So...
While he was in... So the father was inhaling helium?
So dad had a helium balloon.
Right.
And 2 little kids holding his extras.
Oh.
And...
What?
And Kai was like... That's just not cool. I was like, you're right, honey.
You're right. Keep on that track and you'll be fine.
And then right after she said that, a guy came and tried to sell Kaiya some mushrooms, and then she said no politely.
So I'll tell you, the good thing about Phish is they help you learn how to be street smart, how to understand the right community, and stranger danger. Even as an adult, right? An adult should be more careful.
Was the mushroom pusher super friendly though? Like, was he like, oh, that's all good?
Really polite. Remember what he said when
he was like mushrooms, and then he looked at me and he was like, oh, sorry.
He looked at me and said, oh, sorry. Because I think, because Kaiya looks older than she is.
Yeah, right? Absolutely.
And then she realized, the guy probably realized that that's dad right beside her. Well, thanks, man.
But you know, like, that's funny because even now, like, years down the road, like, after this, like, you guys are going to think about that and it's going to be, like, so much more funny. Yes. No, Phish is one of those things, like, I've really wanted to go see them, and I honestly, for whatever reason, aside from just having the puppy, it just totally skipped my mind that they were going to Bangor.
Going anywhere. And Kaiya will take you to your first Phish show.
But they were like, they were so good. Like and it's funny because we always, for New Year's, we always watch the New Year's Phish show and stream it. And we, even just sometimes when we're having just like a house party, we put the one on from, 2020, where they get stuck on the platform.
Yeah.
But I loved that show. It was so dancey. I loved the jumpsuits. I rewatched that show all the time.
Yeah.
And speaking about their New Year ones, the light shows and stuff, the light show there was like the coolest thing I've ever seen. It was like beautiful.
Oh yeah, yeah. They definitely go above and beyond. And like, so I haven't seen them indoors yet, but would you say outside's better, indoors was better? Because you've seen them like Great White. You've seen them.
Everything's better outdoors.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
arena shows are fun because it's in the middle of winter,
Yeah.
and you know but outdoor shows are great.
Like those holograms of like whales and stuff they were doing, like that would be
crazy.
next level.
And
I don't know.
I would love to see them at Madison Square Gardens, and I haven't yet. But I also love to see one of the Mexico shows where everybody's dancing on the beach in the water.
That looks pretty fun.
I think that would be
pretty
awesome.
intimate too.
Yeah, and I just feel about taking your kids to any type of show. I think it's really a special thing, and I've had so many friends. My friend Shani Levitt, who I haven't seen in many years. She was at the Bangor show, and she lives in Australia now, I believe. And she told Kaiya that she was just 1 year older than Kaiya's now for her first legit show, and she's been a fan ever since. And I always hear about like these epic stories of friends, uncles, or dads taking them to the first Grateful Dead show way back when they were 15, and So I think it's a good idea to take kids.
I do too.
And kids that want to go. You don't want to drag anybody to something like that.
Right. It'd be different if Kaiya didn't want to go. Being like, "Why?" It's like, "Here's your birthday present." You're like, "Oh, a Phish show, what I always wanted."
If you could go see any show top of your bucket list right now, what would it be?
Oh, that's really hard.
You can give me 3. I want your top 3. Yeah, I'm just curious. Who would you see live right now if you could?
Harry Styles.
Yeah, that would be
I'd be all over that.
Yeah.
You take me to that one.
Yeah. Maybe Billie Eilish.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Me too, actually.
Solid. Okay.
Wow.
And I definitely see Phish again, honestly.
Oh, that's
High
wicked.
five. I'm going on tour with you.
Yeah, that's wicked.
So Kaiya, I'm curious. So like, I know Kate. I went with Kate back in June. Yeah, it was June to see Primus, and I think after seeing them live and the experience, I came back a really much more appreciation. I consider myself an entry-level Primus fan now. I guess after,
You were like, oh, do I want to listen to them this week while I work?
It's they're in my Spotify rotation now. It was a thing.
Moving on up.
It was an experience, and I'm curious. So after seeing the show, would you consider yourself a bigger fan now? Like, did it?
Definitely.
Yeah.
Yes. I feel like if my interest in them were like a 6 before, it's definitely an 8.5 now.
Yeah.
That's up, moving on up. 2.5 points right there.
Now, I'll say too, in my experience, like my dad was always very adamant about bringing me out to shows when I was young, telling me like what songs were about, maybe when he shouldn't have. He was very like, this is what's up, go to rock shows, like learn about as much music as possible. Always like try to like make me listen to like a lot of like women songwriters, and was like very awesome that way. But for example, when I was growing up and probably starting to be like 13, 14, 15, I no longer wanted to listen to like AC/DC or Black Sabbath or Led Zeppelin. That was starting to be kind of like, I wanted to listen to like the bands I was starting to listen to at this point, like Nirvana, like whatever, right? So I'm curious, after seeing Phish, like did you, because maybe it was different, did you kind of feel like your dad's music was just your dad's music, and then like you went to see them and you were like, oh, this is actually pretty dope?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's like a whole collection of quote unquote dad music.
Yeah. Yeah. Because I find myself now going to shows like all of my dad's favorite bands, and a lot of times I'll bring them, and a lot of like our favorite band that we like literally are friends over is the Stampeders.
We're seeing them in November.
Again.
Yeah.
And we love seeing them, right? But when my dad was listening to like Minstrel Gypsy when I was like 14, I was like, ugh. But now I'm just like,
Well, it's nostalgia. There's something really special about nostalgia in like I think about like my love for sailing. That came from my dad. He used to take us sailing as kids. If he didn't do that, it might be something I'd find. Maybe.
Yeah, maybe.
Now Kai's into sailing, so like this multi-generational pass down of whatever culture, interests, passions. I think it's really important to draw those lines and share. How many of my I'll call it out. How many of my friends are not engaged with their kids in sharing passionate experiences like music or sports or
1,000%. Yeah, because I was going to say at least now and then even when it was happening, like when my dad was going through different things, job changes, like divorce, friendships, friends passing, triumphs, whatever it was, now I'm starting to understand why he listened to the music that he listened to. And I kind of understand him more as a man and as a friend than I do as an authority figure or as just someone who is, you know, who is a cool guy, who's there for me, let me do things and whatever. But now I definitely understand the music more when I listen to it. Yeah. So I think it's, you know, it's kind of great to be able to be this age and be able to like go and be in a safe space and like rock out and like see these bands, because then it'll make you hungrier to go see like Harry Styles, like Billie Eilish. And like those are really well produced and like well-rounded shows. Same with Phish. Like they're not just like a performance, they're very interactive with the crowd, the lights. You know, I love how they do live feeds with everyone. It's very engaging with people who can't be there. And Primus is kind of starting to do that a little bit more too, which I appreciate. If I could see Oysterhead.
Oh, well, isn't Oysterhead going on tour again?
Well,
soon?
they did a couple of shows last year.
Yeah, maybe that's what I was thinking.
And they did like a 20-year reunion thing. And then people were like demanding a tour. So I would go.
It'll happen again.
I would go to that for sure. That would be a dream band.
I think one of the
to see.
Two interesting things that happened, my observations with Kaiya, was every single person that learned that it was her first show said,
like, congratulations, I'm so proud of you. And I'm like, thank you.
It's like she's graduating high school or something.
It is pretty,
Welcome.
Welcome. You're never going to leave.
Yeah, welcome to the club.
Well, I get it. I definitely get it.
Yeah.
Because I kind of felt that way, like, when we went down, because we did, like, a VIP, like, meet and greet and stuff, and I was very, like, proud to have I was like,
it's her baby's first
I wanted to
show.
give her, like, a button or, like, a shirt or, like, a, you know, like a, what are they, a sash?
Yeah, like, I lost my Primus virginity, I guess.
I love it.
But it was so interesting because, you know, you brought up earlier, Kate, around, you know, like, you know, when you go, you know, it's like, when you go with your parents, like, oh, this is this song and this is that song. You were literally like that the whole the whole show. You're like, oh, this is
I remember like the week before I was like, okay,
my name is
these guitar tones are more on these albums, so like they'll probably play more of this, so you should be listening to this. And
Love it.
you know,
it's like, and this is, my name is Mud, and this is when people start jumping around, like, and I was I'm like, okay, and then I like
same for Antelope. My dad was like, okay, so there's only 2 times where they say run like an antelope, okay? So just like wait, okay?
Be ready for it.
And then he was like, okay, here it comes, and now. And
oh my
like,
god, that's
like
so
an antelope out of control.
that's so fun.
And then Kaiya was singing along and dancing, and like, you can't not dance, right?
that's like the vibe there. If you're not dancing, I have no idea what you're doing, because like it's just impossible to stay still. It's like you have to like groove along and stuff.
absolutely.
So if you had to pick a favorite Phish song right now, what would it be?
You know, I really liked Possum and Fluffhead.
Yeah,
Those were probably.
I love Possum.
And Possum was really neat because we went to the bathroom at the same arena that you guys are going to go see Aerosmith at next week. And it's a beautiful venue and clean bathrooms, cleanish anyway.
Super clean.
But because it's all concrete, I was waiting for her to come out of the bathroom, and then they went right into Possum, but it's got that echoiness, you know, that goes through it. I was like, what a perfect place to listen to Possum. And we came back into the audience during Possum. It was awesome. Awesome Possum.
Yeah. What seats did you have?
Just we're at the standing general admission.
Sweet. Yeah.
Yeah, we went right to the very front. We were like waving to Fishmen, and we were at one point, and then in the back, soundboard right with all the other crazy St. John people.
You must have seen it. Did you see that video going around of that little girl singing Bug?
No.
I'll have to send it to you.
Okay, put it in the show notes.
Because it's really adorable.
Oh,
like she sings the whole song up there. She has a sign and she says, "Can I please sing Bug with you?" And then he brings her up.
Oh man!
And she sings the whole thing, and it was
incredible.
I bawled. It was beautiful.
I gotta see that.
But like it goes just to show you how powerful music can be, right? And then imagine being her parents.
Oh yeah, like how proud.
Like
total deviation from that. If you want to see something that will make you cry. Not saying that's that hard to do that, but if you look up Xavier Rudd hugs boy on stage, just look that up
Oh dear.
and tell me that you can get through it without crying. Just I want you to let me know.
Australian guy, right?
Xavier Rudd,
I know who that is. Yeah,
and Sharice, you too.
Oh right. No, I'm just thinking like, am I like
SG
emotionally
homework.
ready for this?
Yeah, it's powerful. But it's
we'll
kids.
see.
You know when you see kids. That's what it's all about.
So do you guys have any shows coming up that you're planning on going to? Like,
not together, mind you, Kaiya. You wanted to come to the Grand Theft Bus, and I kind of didn't let you. Not that I didn't let you.
That
it was
was
just,
so
it was a last
annoying.
minute. Last minute.
there it begins.
I was
It begins.
literally going out the door. She's like, "Can I come?" And I should have said yes. I really should have.
Well,
Sorry.
it wasn't. It was like an hour before.
I know it could have. It was I will make sure that doesn't happen again.
Thank you.
I am going to go see Pavement in Toronto coming up, and of course I'm going to see Trey and Goose, which I'm very excited for.
Yeah.
And anything for you, Kaiya? Any concerts lined up?
Not at the moment, unfortunately.
We'll have to fix that.
But very soon. Very soon.
Yes. I've been seeing a lot of Coldplay videos on TikTok, and they seem. I'm not a Coldplay fan. I appreciate what they do.
I really like Coldplay.
But I really like what they throw down for a live concert for what you can see,
heavy
because it's
energy.
very no cell phone, whatever. But I love like the light up bracelets. I love the interaction.
Is it no cell phone?
Yeah.
Is that what they say?
Yeah.
Like, how do they police that?
I don't know,
That's
but
a strange request.
but people literally like sneak their phone sometimes. But like when the lights go off, your light band lights up. And
Yeah.
I've never been to a show that has like interactive like
that's really
show
cool.
batons or bracelets or anything like that.
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was in Frankfurt, Germany, just 8 weeks ago, something like that. And my friend Krista picked me up from the airport and around, 9 o'clock at night. And she lived right beside this beautiful park, and Coldplay was playing right then and there. And I was like, that would have been so
Small
good to go
world.
in.
Coldplay in the
Yeah.
park.
Yeah, you were just in Ibiza too, weren't you?
Close to
You were
Ibiza. Well, I
everywhere.
was supposed to go to
Greg
Ibiza.
goes everywhere.
true.
Supposed to be Ibiza. Ended up in Sardinia and Corsica. So Sardinia is part of Italy. Corsica is France.
Beautiful.
Yeah, Ibiza next time.
Beautiful. Just stunning, thriving, beautiful. Literally, like such a beautiful place in the world. No, that's crazy. No, I don't know. Live music's like, we try to go out to it as much as we can, but I don't know. After being in for so long, it kind of changed. I don't know, for me, like, why go to small shows when you can plan for bigger ones?
That's a good attitude.
So when we went to Primus, we were like, let's go for 2 nights.
And listen, the little shows are thriving too. There's lots of people going to little shows, and other people. Other people don't want to go to the big shows.
Yeah.
And I'm kind of in there. Like I definitely want to go see the shows that I told you the list.
Yeah.
But I am thinking twice. I mean, like every time I buy a ticket in the U.S. for a big jam-packed concert, I'm like, ugh.
Yeah.
COVID's still real.
Yeah.
So it's just that extra layer of annoyance.
I really wish that we had like a really nice venue here. Like a because
Kai identified one today.
Wait, what's that place called?
It's up by the market.
Well, the place was all tore down by the market.
Yeah.
Big
Well, we
hole.
were thinking like it'd be such a good idea to put an amphitheater there or something.
anything.
Awesome.
Anything in
Like
there,
the slope is perfect for a little. Like it might only have 1,000 people, but wouldn't that be an awesome venue?
Yes.
Because like Harbor Station, it's great and all, and like Avenir Center, like that was great that they built it, but they're still not bringing in the amount of like attendance that they need sometimes. So like Offspring is $150 to go see them at the Avenir Center. Like
Unbelievable.
I will not pay that much.
Avril
to hear
Lavigne,
Pretty
how
Fly
much
for a
was
white
Avril
guy.
Lavigne, Amelia? Like close to like 150, 200. Yeah.
It's insane.
Yeah.
For Avril Lavigne.
Right. And so, but like, why aren't we having 3 nights with Garth Brooks at Harbor Station again? And like,
Oh yes, these got so gross. I really hope we get these clean soon, because I don't like these ones.
so smooth, so bulbous.
Hey, Sherry, say Kate.
Shit,
Oh, hello.
we didn't see you there. I guess before we continue with this episode of Strange Grooves, we'd like to give a special shout out to
To all you amazing strange crew, and to our patrons who help make whatever this is possible. So
Bring out the scroll.
the scroll. Are we ready?
Get ready. Let's do this.
Thank you so much, Chuck Healy,
Colin Walshoots,
Mary Hicks,
Brent Harris of the St. John Tool Library,
Brad Davis,
Corey McGill of McGill's,
woo, James Mullinger,
Kaylin Capson of the Peg and Place podcast,
Brandon Parker.
and Glenn Hicks of U Station.
Thank you so much, Glenn, for the amazing use of U Station. We love being members there. We love everything about U Station, and we can't wait to have you and Brennan on the show. We've been talking about this, and we're going to make it happen.
Absolutely.
doing
And another thing that's going to make happen, Michael Hawkins.
Michael Hawkins, thank you so much.
He's an OG patron.
Nick Curtis, thank you. Thank you so much.
And Jennifer Irving.
Yay! Thank you all so much for your patronage. I really appreciate it. Honestly, Strange Grooves, obviously, we love hanging out and doing the show, but we couldn't do it without people supporting it. And if you're looking for something strange to support, you can get involved for as little as $2 a month through our Patreon or through PayPal, through our web store, whatever you want. We'll take your money.
Literally.
We'll say your name on the show.
Some other goodies.
Yeah, there's lots of cool ways to get involved.
Yeah.
We hope that you enjoyed this week's show. We've got some really great guests this week.
Well, this would be, I think at this point, they're probably tuning in halfway through the episode, aren't
True.
they? So we hope you're enjoying the show so far this week. And I guess we should probably just get back, man.
But like I've always been curious about why we haven't had some of those like bigger shows, because it'd be great to have like Phish or folks here, but it's just not it won't happen. Toronto, Montreal,
even Bangor is a small venue at 14,000 people.
Yeah.
Right. And that's John Fishman's hometown. Like now anyway. And so it's always a hometown show in Bangor.
Yeah.
So it's always a special show.
Yeah.
And it's a smallish venue, but it's perfect.
If I were rich.
I need to circle back on this. What's your theory about Avril Lavigne?
Well, I suspect that her parents were good Canadian rocker fans, because if you translate it, Kaiya actually speaks French really well, so she can confirm this. It's April the Wine, is it not?
I don't think that's how it works.
That's funny.
Avril Lavigne, April the Wine. Come on, help me out here.
That is funny.
Well, it would be. It's April, but
That's the correct translation, but I don't think that's correct.
Okay,
I know what you're putting down.
Only Avril's parents will know.
Let's ask.
Hey, listen, to go off the Avril, I've gotten hugely into Nickelback this week, so
This is going to get us canceled, Kate.
That's
fine.
that's a stretch that I'm willing to make. Actually, at some point, I need you to guide me into the Nickelback love. Maybe I got to see them live. Maybe that's the ticket.
They've got a pretty crazy pyrotechnic show.
Hey, that's cool.
Just saying. Just saying.
Next episode,
Just putting that
Nickelback.
out there.
we discuss.
Well, no, I'm just saying.
Nickelback played here years ago.
They did.
And they played at Harbor Station.
I went. It was
and
great.
our band, Fox Farm, was playing at O'Leary's, but we called ourselves the Chad Kruger Band that night, just because it was funny, and everybody thought that Chad was playing at O'Leary's after the show. And it was just Fox Farm. It was early days Fox Farm, so we
That's
probably
so
were really
funny to
sloppy
me.
at the same time.
I love that.
That's
Oh my
great.
God. That's too funny.
Yes. I wonder if Chad Kroger got
Chad,
wind
if
of
you're
that.
It
listening,
would have been nice if he came.
If it came, he'd be like, who are these people? These Maritimers.
who are these Maritimers? Yeah, I don't
Irish
know.
bar.
Oh, I know.
Well, thank you guys so much for joining us. It's been so great to catch up and to hear about your Phish experience, and we can't wait to. We'd love to have you back at your next concert, after your next concert, and chat again.
Anytime,
actually.
You can come on the show anytime.
Thank you so much.
We love the podcast, even though it's not the Stranger Grooves. It's the Strange Grooves, but the Stranger Things grooves, the Stranger Grooves things that are strange groove.
See, that's what I mean.
There you
It's perfect. It is absolutely perfect.
Well, thank you so much again, and thank you everyone for listening, however you're listening. And until next time, keep it strange.